where, you know, you get caught up, you throw the blade on the ground, you can go ahead and get the siphon back from it. But if you catch somebody in it, you can castle it into the prio. I just think that now at this rate, that how long they've been playing Liam, they just feel a lot more comfortable running that V2, especially with the value it provides.
Well, speaking about comfort, Fan is always going to be a comfort into solos meta. AS has so many options that he can go for. Selects the R&B charge focus. Ready forces that Justina's F2 out from both of these sides, but Lipo comes on through with that parry and will be able to get the better of his mirror. Spider out with that scale rush. Looks for the LMB prio into the grapple kick, follow through charged R&B on that Hangstone. That's eaten through all of the defenses that Verse has available, but can Spider, he's done so much of this work. 75% of this health bar that has been removed from Verse has been Spider's handiwork, but here comes Star looking to try and vulture this kill away, but Verse takes advantage of the third-party invasion to be able to get his hands on a grey armor reset, and both of these two players are denied the kill.
Oh my god, Spider with a massive parry there. Does manage to pick an elimination down to Verse. Mike takes out T225 in the back end. Star now with a massive jump parry up opener there against Spider on the backside. Rana now landing down with a Tumultuous, but now Star picking elimination onto Spider and now applying the pressure onto Arano in the backside. Does manage to get some damage onto him with the health advantage as well. Arano trying to kite out the situation, and this is another known terrain here for these players here in Predoria, being able to use this terrain as for their advantage to make sure they can avoid some of this pressure thrown their way. PXC taking out Mike. Now Mike is only going to have one health or one life going into this remainder of this game, with one elimination already in this game. FPSGQ Star though still trying to catch up onto Arano, and it's not going to be easy with the geyser in play, this big terrain rock here as well. It's just constant scale rushes, a lot of hard work to try to catch someone lacking here for these scale rushes, and there it is, still going to continue to kite this out. And you know, I wanted to mention, oh, there it is, big damage there on the backside. The pole sword is not gonna be enough, and Star is gonna be elimination onto Arano. Frostovus and Lipo going at it. We do have Edward in the mix as well here for the third party.
Yeah, Lipo able to come in through with the blue armor. Syra F1 already going to be invested. Lipo does have both of his freezes, finds it onto Frostovus to lead up into the RMB from those halberds. Edward looks for the LMB prio into that extension, but Lipo will be able to dodge out of it when another of those Justina dashes. Heads on over towards that bell. Goes for the wall hang to be able to scale rush away once Edward closes up the distance too. Good bait. Comes on out from that Justina. Utilizes the last of those dashes to put himself up onto these rooftops so he can find the spacing to go for this armor powder reset before swapping on over to that Fan. Now utilizing both the LMB and the RMB in terms of playing inside that pocket. Edward with the overhauled Lipo doesn't feel comfortable with the play that he made. Goes for the F2, thinking that he misread the situation. And both of these players going to take a little bit of time to cool off before they come back into this fight anew.
Do have Lipo still playing a high ground. Edward does ice off some of this pressure and backs on up. Wufong drops very low. Has, I believe, PXC in the B2 ball. It looks like there's going to be a quick reset in for himself as well. AES going out against OUG's Mike. And I did see one of the last frames there from the Wiz. So the F is going to be on cooldown there for Mike. Getting quickly aggressed on here from AES on the Justina. Trying to see if he can find elimination onto Mike. But Mike doing everything he can to wait up for this F. There it is. It's on cooldown. Still going to continue to scale rush on out. Has the ultimate online if he needs it as well, but he can't get aggressive now that the F is back online. We do see him sending the 1.0. He's going to get parry here from AS. Has the F to avoid the damage off of that as well. Does not catch him in the whisk. Yes, he does. The lingering frame there off the R&B focus catches the restand into the musket shot as well. And now AS does get a lot of pressure thrown his way. He's going to have to chill out for a little bit. He's going to take a quick reset in. The first Roman Yang is starting to come on up. But what I wanted to mention a little bit earlier, I mean, with how the groups are, a lot of these players know if you're not playing the top metas right now, you know, Liam, Syra, continuously. Hold on. We got triple uppercuts from Wufong. We got into the jump LMBs. Jump LMBs finisher there for Wufong. I was trying to yap, but Wufong was like, I got a combo for you. Coming in hot here, beautiful showcase here from Wufong.
Oh, the staircase downward spiral. So many resets off of the grapple kick when they're just held in the air a little bit longer because they started a little bit higher. The higher you start, Yeah, the longer you have to take to fall. That's exactly what the grapple kick combo gets to take full advantage of. In fact, some of these players will on purpose kite you over to that terrain so they can start a fight with you at the top of the staircase so that you break your neck on the way down. As it is going to be the first realm of Yang spawning one up in the lobby. Mike wanting to get proud position onto this one over towards Skygaze Coves, but he's actually going to be locked on out of the Coves one by Spider, who drops that Moonbane directly over the top of it to secure himself the entrance. Now Mike is going to have to contest with WBG's Verse and YCG's T225 if he wants to be able to get his hands one of those Yang passes that gives him free entry into that portal way.
What's crazy was, right, before, if you guys didn't know, the longsword could infinitely continue grappling combo like that with no terrain, right? Just flat ground. So they had to completely change it to where you need that terrain to be able to extend those uppercuts. But I mean, longsword was not very played a lot back then. But even though it had the potential of that, it just made it super strong. And whenever a player didn't have another weapon, definitely the longsword was being played out. But the Sire Ultimate already invested here from Edward onto Wufong, and Wufong's gonna fall off of this. He does have a second life here for this game. OUG's Mike, T225, and WBG's Verse going at it. Mike on the Tammy, trying to find a perfect opportunity to try to find a third party. But we have Verse investing this Aqua's Ultimate there to try to secure this realm of Yang. We do have him already waiting this out with 14 seconds remain. He's gonna have around 3 seconds left, possibly, to enter the ring when that ult runs out. He is going to be fine, though. He is going to be able to take this out. These players do scatter on out. We do have Mike completely retreating off of this situation with blue armor left. Just going to wait this out. V2's out there to completely close it out. Now, which players are going to be able to take this realm of Yang? We do have everybody posted up on this realm as well, I believe. On this, just the area. It's just orange. It caught me off guard. But Mike now waiting this out. But yeah, R&B Pro, a little bit of love tap there to watch out. He's trying to bite up some resources. But Star is going to be our first one in the realm of Yang for game number 4 on the Shayo. Has 2 great weapons right now, Purple Fist Blades and Purple Pole Sword in hand for this fight. Waiting for his opponent. This player's always waiting for the last moment. Try to see, just see who takes the realm. You know, just wait it out. 6 seconds remaining. 4 now. Players are gonna join. Okay, I was gonna say we're not gonna take realm, but PXC is gonna be the opponent here for Star. We have Jail against WZ, WBG against SR.
Wait, Spider is up against Zorg.
Yeah.
WBG and SR are going to be going head to head, but the one that we're going to be watching is Wolves, who's going to be head to head with FX's Star Skirrish from PXT is already going to force out that combo breaker from the Shaol. Ultimate also called into play. PXT now burns out his own combo breaker, puts himself onto the pillar. Skirrish is away before the uppercut can potentially punish onto him when he's in that position. And now it just becomes a kite. He just has to be able to kite out the duration of the Shaol V1, and then he gets to come on through with the advantage into the second staging of the fight. Justina already burned one of those dashes coming on out, as well as the ultimate activation to knock Star back so that he didn't get the opportunity of throwing out that hold. Star gets hit by the freeze, but has the F1 back into place so that PXT does not get to extend off of the back of it. But Justina still has one dash. He's going to burn it. Looks for that one into the uppercut, the grapple bump into the R&B on the 2-1-1 off of those Howies. But will he be able to find the damage now as we get reset back into that neutral? He loses the weapon to the jump, Harry.
Wow. I mean, the kite was beautiful there from PXC. Waiting out that Shayo ultimate. Waiting for the perfect opportunity. Just loses that focus there. Gets parried. The damage off the Purple Fist Blades is enough there for the elimination there for Star. So Star now is going to get the buff plus the weapon upgrade there from that Realm of Yang. We also have Verse winning his for his side against Spider at PSGQ as well, winning the Realm of Yang. Spider now with 3 minutes and 55 seconds, trying to stay up here for this game on the Liam. Strongest as well. I mean, we heard Frostivus talk about it whenever, you know, first picks Liam's that has to, he knew that was going to be his one of his good games because just how good Liam is. But Spider to go ahead and wait this out, trying to find a perfect opportunity for himself to find someone lacking. We do have AS resurrecting right in front of him, so he might be getting into that brawl pretty soon. PXC right next to Frostivus, Mike as well in the mix. Justina with 3 minutes and 27 seconds to try to cleanse now. Do have him on blue armor. We just saw his Yang. As soon as I say that, just magically finds a purple armor just laying in the middle of the map. Just
magically finds Mike, though. Mike might have actually utilized that purple armor to bait players in close. Because now he catches them with the pitter patter of the charged element beyond that staff. The Justina already burns out that F2. Mike in full control of that situation can try and keep up this pressure with that staff, being able to utilize those lunges and keep himself directly behind this Justina. Goes into the R&B, potentially looking for that parry. Pixie flashes for that parry. As now it is going to be that Justina ultimate coming on out. Mike going to be committing that ultimate too, as the Justina cannot dash through that wind wall. And it turns now into a third-party opportunity for Mike, who gets to play Invader, as both PXC and Frost are stacked too close to each other and get hit by the Wisps. And Mike picks up one, might be able to find a second.
Oh my god, beautiful showcase in there from Mike. Re-grabbing those whips into the pistol shots there to confirm the elimination there. But now Frostive is at full throttle with the ultimate advantage currently right here. But there's a no ult zone here for Mike, trying to pop it as fast as possible. Does manage to do so. Gets cut off with the R&B, but F came back from cooldown. Now, neutral game for both players coming in hot. Frostivus catches the reprise once again, and this could be the elimination here for Frostivus. Manages to catch it there off the R&B focus, and Frostivus taking out the 2 times now, and this is gonna be Frostivus' first kill of the game. Mike gets out with 2, but now Frostivus trying to jump up higher here in the leaderboards.
I mean, Mike and Spider both sent out of this lobby. And I really hope we get to see a replay of Spider matching up against Verse, because Verse on this Arcos was actually able to come out with the Realm of Yang win against the Liam, who, as you pointed out, Frostbus touted Liam as the strongest hero currently in this meta. So the fact that he lost to an Akos is very interesting indeed. Hopefully we'll be able to see how that occurred a little bit later on, as currently we're going to be watching Star get chased down by JL's AS. AS comes on through with that Justina dash to be able to close up the distance. Grapple wasn't doing the trick, but now he has to contend with the third party coming out from the Syra. Realm of Yang buffs are going to be showcased just before they could expire too. Vermilion Birdsmite kicks into the mix, allowing the continuation of Versus Lobby's existence. And now, with AS having secured the Soulblum that he was looking for, he looks to try and disengage this fight, but he is not out of danger just yet. TW5 more than happy to keep up the pressure, considering he's still got that Syra ultimate in play. And AS, trying to disengage away from one player, runs into another instead.
Yeah, we do have AS trying to cut out the situation. Another player caught up now. Do have him trying to go for that full reset in, and AS loves those double dashes in that Justina ultimate. Just the second time I catch him doing that. Do see him getting caught up by the raw uppercut into the 2-on-1 R&B focus there from T225. Another player showing up to the mix as well. Now AS drops very, very low here. Edward doesn't go for the lowest right now. Sees another player in the backside. Big parry for AS. Double parry as well onto Edward. Does send the damage. Does not get the full capitalization due to the F. But Star now trying to back on up. AS has to let go of his armor. He is currently on common now, but T225, Edward, and everybody in the mix are going to continue their focus onto AS. We still have him trying to scatter out from the situation, and here does manage to spin back the R&B focus there from the Hong Sword, but now there goes the full damage. F caught in from AS, 96% off the ultimate. Massive parry as well. It does manage to get it there. We do have the common ult now coming back, the ultimate now coming back here for AS. He is going to manage to take a full reset in, and it looks like that's all he needed to try to scatter out from here, but the pressure is on still towards him.
Yeah, massive play comes on from AS. The fact that he was able to pull that ultimate up is crazy. As we're going to be having a look at our second Rumble of Yang fight coming on through. This time it's going to be Frostivus versus Arano. Frostivus taking the full hit of damage from the charge horizontal coming on up from that spear. Comes out with the F1, looks for the ultimate. Will be able to find the activation and can now keep up the pressure. He does have the long shot in the back pocket too. So Arano on this time, he's going to kite away from the invisible wall of that outside Realm of Yang. Pushes Frostivus to the ulti into the wisp grab, and Frostivus gets taken out by the bow as the shell was not able to activate the counter, since you can't do it when you're under attack.
Wow, Lipo still going at it this time around against Verse, and this Realm of Yang. Justina ultimate popped here for Lipo. We do have the 2-1 coming in here from the staff. Into the jump, it'll be finisher. No, still up. We have Lipo trying to stay alive in the situation. One dash remaining here off the Justina. Oh, also one tap. Does manage to dash on in, catches the freeze. Aqua's ultimate invested. Is he able to have the weaves here? Weaves the first one. F to stop the pressure for coming on in. The backstab there from the F does manage to keep him up for now, but Verse now applying lots of pressure there with the 1 HP Justina. The skill rush. It's a little bit of damage on onto Verse. The ultimate still online here for the Akos into the Scare Rush there from the ultimate. Is going to be elimination there for Verse.
Verse is on absolute fire. He's won both of his Realm of Yanks, which is where this Akos needs to be that apex predator inside your 1v1s. He struggles into the multi-way fights. If he can pick up 2 eliminations inside a Realm of Yang, as well as scale himself up into being able to survive that end game, as well as having that buff, making these players very much deterred to try and take this fight. Oh my goodness, I've never seen the arm being utilized in that manner. We're just playing Ring Around the Rosie. This is gonna be Lipo throwing on that Hong Sword focus, trying to, with the Rampage, connect onto Frostivus as both of these players going a little bit low, backing on off, both of them getting hit with that Yang depletion, wanting to be able to take this 1v1s. Lipo finds that parry. Frostivus gets hit into the jump horizontal. Follow up as Lipo yet again commits the Rampage, and Frostivus is forced to try and commit the hands. The slap's trying to buy himself out of the situation. This time around doesn't have Vajra's grip, but here comes the third party. Verse shows up to the mix with the charged R&B staff, scooping up Frostivus and the elimination. And unfortunately, the Soul Bloom, as Lipo is forced to watch as that 1v1 slips through his fingers. And now he's on the run from the Tiger, looking to just hide away on the second level of that building as Verse goes right past him.
That's unfortunate there for Lipo, but he did not invest ultimate, so he can still have that in his arsenal. Potentially Verse applies the pressure, but with his White Tiger's powers on Verse, he is going to quickly invest his ultimate to try to see if he can pick up the next elimination. And he still doesn't know that this player has Yang depletion timer, especially with him trying to ice off the pressure right now. But Lipo needs to be real careful in this situation. We do have him now trying to kite off the situation. Lipo, though, staying up for the time being. I believe around 3 minutes now for him to try to cleanse his Yang depletion timer. Verse, though, just quickly catching up to him with every movement he does, catching the scare rushes, catching the light attack damages as well. Lipo trying to resort inside the zone to try to ice off some of this pressure here for Verse, and that through the window jump LMBs. It's just so beautiful to see. We see that as well when players are trying to run away and catch the scale rushes out. A lot of players like to jump LMB up to be able to nullify the fact that these players are trying to escape for them. And we see Lipo having to change to a combat armor here. He does manage to get a combat armor swap. Verse not letting go of the gas pedal, not even touch once here against Lipo. Full armored out here with the gold armor. We do have him now getting the counter grapple, and a lot of these players might start moving on in as well. We have Star on the backside. We have a congestion of players on the top side of the minimap as well. We have T225 taking out AS. Lipo drops very low, and it might just be in a matter of time that he gets picked up here. The Prio inside the zone. Another common armor swap here for Lipo. Every R&B for a little bit of damage onto Verse, but in the zone, taking a lot of damage. Verse with elimination here onto Lipo.
It's so unfortunate too that the fight going down between T225 and AS is not close enough for the Justina to run directly into where the action is happening and hope that everyone turns onto a lower health target. We saw from Verse as well in the back pocket with that longsword. One of those legendary soldiers is going to be the Phoenix Burst. It was parried the first time around. That's okay, there we go. Arana commits the arm and flies out of the situation as opposed to dozy-doing his way around the players trying to commit onto him. This time around, the terrain taking a little bit too hot for his blood, as there are so many players in such an enclosed place, especially with the Moonbane in a really inconvenient position. Anyone who is caught late into rotating into the next zone, trying to put themselves into a better placement to capture out the Spirit Well and gain access to the White Tiger's Forest, which is going to lie within, is going to get punished by that Moonbane coming into place. That's going to force all of these players to immediately gravitate to that positioning a little bit earlier, as opposed to trying to take some of those previous fights. Arana is the player that we're going to be following along with. The Temi has made it all this way, so potentially we do see that ultimate come down and make that spiral just a little bit harder for these players to stick around into, as Arana is the first one who is going to be that. He's not the only one, though. We can see 205 just hanging around the fringes, wanting to check out whether or not he can make a play for this. Edward, who's also going to be on that Syra, is going to make it harder as well. If one of these Syras pops that ultimate, if they disappear and change that weapon, no one's going to know which ones utilize that V1 if the fight breaks out anew. So they're going to be sticking very close to each other for that exact reason. FPX's star on that Shayol. In case there's a Liam in the mix, going to be keeping himself out of sight. Entirely different positioning coming on through from him. As now the Spirit World contest begins. Who's got the Soul Jade, which sees everybody take a big step backwards. Versus got the Merciless Havoc. It bought T225 at the last time around. But Wufeng, there's a reason we've got a great sword out. Do we have an Earthshaker in play?
I saw him drop down with a triple charge. I'm not sure if he converted to Earthshaker, if he canceled a lot, but he's definitely going for those triple charges off the top rows, as we just saw here. But I mean, Verse with the Merciless Havoc here is just to be able to control a lot of the pressure here. Oh my god, gets the grapple bump, can't go for the focus, but it looks like the body went towards the top side here, so does not get the damage. But the Merciless to be able to keep contesting this area, and he is going to pick up this this buff as well, the White Tiger's powers, and has another utilization of another armor as well for his for any situation that he needs. We do see him on the Alco. Keep in mind, he did get eliminated very early into the start of the game, but being the lone Alcos in this lobby, he's doing a really good job staying up, picking the correct fights, and being able to come on top. And now with a fairly stacked loot that he has right now, he's looking very potentially to win this game as well. But Arano's macro is looking beautiful in that second realm of Yang. I mean, we saw a bow restand off the R&B focus from the spear to recast the prio. So I mean, just little stuff like that. It's just insane to watch here, especially in the lobbies that we're witnessing here. Just being able to recast stuff like that. Bow restands. I would love to see a lot more bow restands. There's a couple with a couple weapons. You know, spear being one of them. We've seen them with longsword as well. I mean, just a lot of potential having a bow in the arsenal. Yeah, it shoots a little bit slower than a musket, but having the potential to restand off of a headshot alone is just a great tool to have, especially if you have that crispy aim like Arano has. Verse, though, still on the White Tiger's power, can get active, but we see him trying to focus Asira here in the situation. Scale rushes out on the backside, but we have T225 and Edward both playing here in this hut to try to stay up, and the pressure here with his lone Aquos here from Verse might be a bad situation for him, but he's trying to make the best out of it with this buff in play. We have a Asira ultimate invested there from Edward, so this might be the best case scenario. Does manage to weave the Moonbane there in just a matter of time. This could be super bad. The 10 ultimate is going to invest it for Arano as well. One of the Asira ults are about to go out pretty soon, so just we're gonna have to wait and see how this pans out for those players. Arano trying to scatter on out. It looks like he does manage to do so with this terrain here. Is gonna be able to catch a full reset.
Yeah, Edward is that Syro who burned that ultimate is going to be disappearing. T225 still holds on to theirs though, so we're likely going to be seeing Edward trying to break away and go for a weapon swap and pretend to be the other Syro, but Verse has been able to keep track of which of these Cyrus has utilized that ultimate until now. He loses a massive chunk of that legendary armor. Does still have the armor reset, and that is one of the Cyrus down. Edward, the Cyrus who burned that V1 earlier, and now it becomes a matter of pressuring the next ultimate out of the other Cyrus still in the mix. Verse with the RMBs into that rampage coming on through just continuous pressure from this Hong Sword. Finally, T225 is forced to part ways with his ultimate, and Verse, job done, looks to disengage. He makes it into the open space so that he can skirmish off of those cliff chasm edges back towards where his armor reset is going to be, but T225 gets to play the verticality, still with these last couple of moments of his ultimate with the stun dazzle, prevents the Liam from breaking free to the top ropes, where that armor reset is potentially going to be. Now that Akos pops the ultimate, knows that the Sarah is going to be low. T225 drops down to the low ground, utilizing the trap clip to make sure that Verse isn't going to be super hot on his heels. We'll be able to find one armor fighter, but unfortunately he runs directly into Wufeng, and Verse is gifted a full reset opportunity. The problem for him is that he committed the ultimate, and now he has to try and find value of it in a multi-way fight. T225 eats so much damage coming through from the range shots of the bow. Will still be able to put himself onto the lower level of the building with this longsword, skirmishing just backwards and forward before these players can lock him down. Finds a blue armor swap as well into that zone, but Arano with the bow has been able to track down where the Syra has gone to, and T225 without that ultimate does have the combo break, has to make sure that he doesn't slow down on that trap clip. Now utilizes the F1 to get the verticality, but he runs directly into FPX's star, who chases him down with the fan, and we go from 5 to 4 players. This lobby is not done. Verse and Star both dueling for that MVP potential, but Arano and Wufong, with enough players left in this lobby, if they find the eliminations, can still steal it away.
Yes, and this is a different character in zone now for this game. Everybody is on a whole different hero. We do have Verse once again on the Akos, Arano on the Temi, Star on the Xiaoyu, and Wufong on the Liam. And now just a matter of moments, zone 6 almost completely fully closed. Moving on into our last and final moments of game number 4. We do have Verse once again, gold staff with Merciless. I mean, being able to chunk out a lot of damage here from range with this weapon, being safe and gold for him as well. It's a very strong weapon to have. He is playing the low ground game here, so we have to wait to see how he comes out from the zone. Now, Arano, once again, another player with, I mean, fully gold weaponed out pretty much with 3 gold weapons in his inventory. Just going to wait out the last and final moments of this game. About to have his ult online once as well. We have Star on the Xiaoyu, purple weaponed out. Does have a good variety of weapons, though, to his arsenal. But Arano trying to claim the high ground here on the Tomok. Wufong on the Liam. Has the potential to catch somebody there with the V2 and get the damage inside the zone there with the Liam. It's just a matter of time with the fan in hand. It looks like our player on the below ground might just play the healing game at this point. I don't think there's an exit here, so he is going to be playing out. No, he goes right back in. Verse quickly getting caught up by the burst there from Arano, though, trying to get some shots through the wall. Doesn't manage to connect off of that one, nor that one either, but the pressure is there from Verse, and Verse here's this burst calling. He needs to be real careful of that.
Yeah, Merciless Havoc, though, can pressure these players who are a little bit too close to the edge of that zone. And he's spotted a target. In fact, he's putting himself directly into the middle, keeping up the pressure onto Wufong, who's going to be forced to keep himself into this building, or else he's going to take all of that damage through the window. Verse tries to find his opening. Again, keeping everybody at arm's length, but trying to build up that little bit of damage necessary to hit that last bit of charge necessary to hit into his ultimate as the zone fully closes on through. Arano throws out his Temi ultimate. Everyone gets locked into the direct center of it. Eye of the Hurricane means that you're immediately in the spacing for the Liam V2 to catch you and throw you directly into that storm. Wufong tries to break away. The bow shots, though, still coming on out. Arano is down. Verse picks up the elimination, and it is going to be a tie for last player standing. No one gets the kill score multiplier. And I believe it might be enough that Verse was able to find that elimination onto Arano that's just able to push him the distance necessary to pick up the MVP.